Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. What I want to do is a video sharing with you a putting lesson I had myself the other day. I went up with a couple of pupils of mine to the Swash Golf School and had a session with Mike Kansky, the senior instructor there. And it was really informative, great session, and I've got a couple of changes I'm trying to make. And I thought I'd do a video on that in case it helps you with your putting. I'm going to put the data from the session I had with Mike in this video as well, so you'll see the report in terms of the club face, the amount of curvature where the club face is pointing at impact, etc., the amount of rise on the putter. And I just want to talk you through the couple of setup changes I'm actually having to try and implement myself. So they've got a system there, a sand putting system, that very similar to my HMT that measures the golf club data of what the club's doing through impact. This is of course measuring the putter. So they're measuring you on a 15-foot putt on a straight one. Then it was a hydraulic green, so it actually changed the tilt of the slope, and you were being tested on a 15-foot right to left putt on a 3% slope, and the same on a left to right. Now the first thing to say, and you'll see the data from my initial go before we made any changes. Now I was actually holding most of them. I think on the straight putt I hold all 5, on the right to left I think I hold 3 out of 5, and on the left to right 1 or 2. So I had some pretty good data already on those 15-foot putts. But I was compensating very well, and I was aware of needing to make a few changes because I think I've always been a streaky putter myself, not consistently good on my day, but not low enough really in terms of my average. There was a couple of things I was doing at setup that were making it very difficult for me to gain consistency. So the first one, and it's why I'm going to use this string line here. If you don't use a string line in your practice, I would suggest go out and spend £1 on 2 tent pegs and a bit of string or cording. It's one of the best exercises you can do just to see, can you start the ball on line on straight putts, right to left and left to right. I've got a right to left putt here. I've already done a little bit of aim point and worked out that this is around 5 inches of right to left break if I hit it at the right pace. Now the first thing I was doing wrong at setup was my club face was closed. So my club face was pretty consistently 2 degrees closed of where I should have been aiming. Okay, whether that was a straight putt right to left or a left to right, my club face was slightly to the left. The compensation I made was my eye line and therefore shoulders, and you'll see it from the top camera. And when you see the data, you'll have to forgive my bald head. I didn't get time to spray paint that one on, but the above camera was a great idea or indication of where your eye line and shoulders were pointing. I had my eye line out to the right, my shoulders a little bit to the right, to encourage the path to go more that way. So I was swinging, I think it was around 3.5 degrees in to out. So I was swinging more to the right to compensate for the club face actually being closed at address. I was effectively sort of drawing my putts, but doing it relatively successfully, at least on that day. By the time I actually got to impact, I had the club face pretty square, which is the most important part. But it's hard to do that consistently when you've got a club face that's starting left and a path that's going sort of 3.5 degrees to the right. So the couple of changes, as I said, I've had to make. The first one is just to try and feel a little bit more neutral, a little bit more 50-50 at setup in my position, and then tilt down from there. So sort of trying to get myself in a neutral balance and tilt forwards. The second change I'm having to try and make is the club face position. So I'm trying to, for me it looks a little open, but it's why I'm using a line on the ball and the line on the string here. I'm just trying to get these all married up to make sure that the line on the putter is going through the line of the ball down the string line. And I'm just trying to get used to that. I could use a putting mirror with some lines on as well to help me with that. And the third change I'm trying to make is with my eye alignment. So this is probably the hardest one for me. I'm having to feel like I tilt my head this way. Now, when you look at me from face on there, you'll probably think that looks pretty neutral, and I think it does. But to me, it feels like I'm sort of twisted slightly to the left. So there's a little bit of mirror work and getting used to that. So I'm going to go ahead. This ball's just moved. Maybe I budged it. So I've got the line on the ball. I'm going to set the line on the putter, making sure that is square there. Neutral setup position. And then the last thing I have to do is tilt my head a little bit to the left. Now the good news, that was a bit of a funny stroke. The good news is actually I don't have to think about a great deal when I'm going ahead and hitting the putt. So when I get the setup position correct, I can just pull the trigger, let it go pretty natural. I'm also using these in my practice. These are some Pro Aim glasses I picked up. Now they look a bit stupid, but I'm going to pop them on so you can have a little laugh. Through the right eye, they've got a couple of lines. One that's going to be one side of the putt head, one the other, that should be parallel to my target line, so following the string line and the line on the putter. And then there's a vertical line which I try and get on the leading edge of the putter. So they're a really good training aid actually. So I'll give you a bit of a laugh with these on. And I'll go ahead and hit a putt again. So trying to get the line on the putter, marrying up with the ball through the string line there. Neutral with my weight, and then tilt my head a little to the left. That felt a pretty good stroke, just missing a little on the left side. Let's hit one more. The wind's actually playing a little bit of a factor today. It's really cold and blowing a little bit off my right side, so it's starting to affect it. It's pretty strong. Right. Again, that looks good. Neutral with my setup, and then tilt my eye line a little to the left. Oh, I thought I holed that one, just bobbled a little to the left. So they're the couple of putting changes I've made, or making. You'll have seen the data in this video. Hopefully you'll found that really interesting. Do post some comments and questions below. Happy to get around to answering those. Make sure you check out the channel for all the other content coming Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and all our social media info is coming along the bottom of the screen right now. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time.